All right. So I am so ecstatic and so excited about today's show. If you have been catching us on the previews, we have been just drip marketing and connecting with you and showing you that today on Ready Set Real Estate, we are bringing a special guest, my sis, Twilight Mayat Johnson to the show. And I am so ecstatic because guess what? We're doing a Kwanzaa special. So happy Kwanzaa to you all. And we are in the building. Welcome, sis, to the show.
Absolutely. What's today's principle for Kwanzaa? Is it Emoja?
I believe so. And I was going to pull it up. I know unity was in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely what it's about. Very excited to be here. And when I think of unifying, I want to share with you guys that I met Miss Lisa quite some time ago, some years ago, when I was just on social media doing inspirational posts. And she approached me. We just had a conversation. And, you know, watching her blossom from the Real Estate 100 movement to where she is now is astounding. You guys would not believe, and this was the most humble, powerful woman I have ever come across in my life. So truthfully, guys, I am so happy to be here. She's contributed so much positively to my own growth and development in my own organization. So once again, I'm just happy to be here.
Woo! Yes. I receive all of that, sis. Thank you. Because and I will share this in that same light for those of you who are new to Mayat, and welcome her into your family. She's part of my family. When I started, as she shared, when I started on this journey 2 years ago, when I released the book, you know, this is what it started it all, right? I jumped on her platform, and this sister right here has built a social media following of a total of 100,000 combined followers. That's a lot of lives. That's a lot of attention. That's a lot of energy that she has accumulated, shared, given, inspired. And I was one of those little people where I was just coming to the social media arena. And it really was because I knew I had to go where my target audience was, and it was on social media. And it was very new to me. And I could just, in my mind, remember jumping in the gram, and then I jumped in the inbox, and I was like, hey, hey.
So humble, too, because what you started and what you've built with the collective enterprise that you have around you, it's amazing. Totally amazing. And you were humble and you were down to earth the whole time. I had you on my radio show a couple times.
Yes.
And so I'm sorry, guys, if we're just walking down memory lane here, but remember, you know, the theme is unity. So, you know, unifying our own selves, our mind, body, spirit, and purpose, and then unifying with others has been something that has really helped us to expand over the years. So we just wanted to touch on that.
Absolutely. And yeah, thank you for that, sis, because we're still very much so on topic as we're talking about. It is one of the principles today that we are covering. And you'll see that, again, as I share with my guests and my audience, that it is my gift, it is my purpose to tie in everything that we do to real estate. So we're going to get in with Tug Initiative, Transformation to Empowerment. Please tell us, Coach Twilight. Please tell us about Tug and its services, because now you're nonprofit, right? Headquartered in Chicago. And please share.
Certainly. So I'm going to throw out a key word to you. We're a grassroots organization currently, but we are definitely on the move for expansion.
Wonderful.
Our services are two things that we mainly offer in our services: one-on-one virtual empowerment coaching and community support coaching. In 2018, we're moving forward with the community support coaching aspect, which means that we're going to put some feet to the ground, get out here in these neighborhoods, work with these youth, and try to impart on them the things that we learn later on in life. And now we get an opportunity to share that with them. So to be more specific, we're working on a financial and credit literacy program for middle school children. So children at the Chicago Public Schools. And if you guys know anything about Chicago Public Schools and just the school system in general in Chicago, it is being monetized to the T. And these children are being looked at as real estate. And so we cannot leave this to chance. We cannot leave our children to be bought and sold in the system to be placed wherever society thinks they should be placed. We have to impart wisdom and values on them. So giving them an opportunity, though many, I want to say Blacks or Africans, Indigenous, Aboriginals, however you classify yourself, we don't have generational wealth to pass down. But what we do have is the knowledge so that they can go ahead and have a leg up more so than what we learned. I mean, how did I learn how to fix my credit? By messing it up. Okay. So, you know, and that goes right along with real estate, because no one is going to give you that loan for the 3% down if you're not working with at least a 650 credit score, Lisa?
Right. 640 is what they want to see ideally.
640. So ultimately, a lot of these children have no idea of how to put themselves in a position to have any type of financial aptitude. And there are statistics and studies that show that they are going down the same road we are. And from the music and the influence that they listen to, ultimately, they're just being encouraged to shop, splurge, spend, so on and so forth. So we just want to be able to make a contribution. We know we can't change everything, but we're looking to make a contribution. So that's what we're really focusing on as we move into 2018. And really quickly, a little backstory. My organization started off completely abstract. It was really about inspiring people and being authentic and moving into your highest vibration and being in balance with who you are. Just the whole mind, body, spirit, Ayurvedic philosophy. Right. And as those things begin to unfold inside of me, I began to unwrap certain gifts. It's like, you know, like Kendrick Lamar's song say, I got royalty and loyalty inside my DNA. I got power, poison, and pain inside my DNA. So whatever was activated at that time, it kind of inspired me to move into this position. And then from there, it just kind of expanded and grew. And now it's starting to take shape and form. But before, it was extremely abstract.
And that's a beautiful thing. It reminds me of something I was reading last night, and it said that we don't get ready and then do. Jump in and you start the building, you start the creation. And as you shared just kind of my journey, that's exactly what happened. I'm not, you know, this is not this profound publisher, entity, author, things that I have evolved to be. I knew real estate. I knew my passion. I know my purpose. I know where I wanted to go with it. And I jumped in and it started to take a life of its own. And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to at least be an added value for people, that as we're talking about unity, as we're talking about that cooperative and collaboration, because this is exactly what that exemplifies. When I put that gift out there, guess what happened? Sis, Mayat, magnetized to one another. Other people I've connected with along the way that you see featured on my show, these are people that I have connected with over the worldwide diaspora.
I know, right?
This is the diaspora connecting, unity again, that I'm having an amazing time. And I still think it's such a profound time because we're having such a renaissance in what we're seeing happening. So you guys have no idea, especially because she's her show, and she's actually included as part of my press kit and portfolio, because when I came out in the public eye, she was one of the platforms I was on the radio for. And so she's included as part of my growth. And I'm honored to do this in return, because we're building. And I think it's so wonderful to see that, like she said, it is grassroots, and it's evolved to where we can now put down foot soldiers and grow and continue to expand. Because once you have the vision of expansion, the end product, it's like I say, I live in the end. Yes. Expansion, the end product. Everything else fills in, which is really what's amazing about it all. So please, I wanted to get into a little bit more of, you said middle school. So and why middle school? Why that particular age group?
Well, ultimately, one of the aspects that I considered is the ability to take in new information. So when I look at the demographic of children anywhere from about 11 to 15, now normally when people are getting credit, they're about 18 years old,
right,
and beyond. But our children are inundated with so many messages right now that it's almost imperative that we start a little bit earlier. Because ultimately, starting at 18, that would absolutely be too late. They've already had it in their head who they are, what they want to do, who they're going to be. Hell, they're going to tell you what they're going to do, okay? Right. So it's almost too late at that point.
I got a 17-year-old, yeah.
Exactly. So we have to start very early with ingraining certain messages. And right now what I'm doing is I'm in the testing phases. So I have a 13-year-old brother. And he is right at that point. And actually, the whole thing is mirrored out for him. The little cartoon character, his name is Milo FICO. So my brother's name is Malcolm. And the character's name is Milo FICO. FICO, the Fair Isaac Credit, what's the O organization?
Yes.
Okay. So that particular character is going to be the leading character. But I'm having to extract some of his personality characteristics, some of the things he's going to tell me how to make this cool. Because I'm sorry, kids in the attention span, it's not fully developed yet. But he's going to show me how to make this cool. He's going to show me how to make this interesting. So he's pretty much my test dummy right now.
This is how you make it cool.
Now I see that, but you know what? The youth is going to tell me how to make it cool, because a lot of times we think we know, but they'll tell you like, no, that wasn't it. Because how can you talk to a child about savings, entrepreneurship, money, and things like that, and then really be engaged and involved? You really have to make it more fitting for them. So I think that it's important that I formulate this around the thoughts and the opinions, plus with my knowledge of kids in this particular age range.
Absolutely. And I just say that jokingly, because the jersey concept for me, I've been an athlete growing up, and so I wanted to, of course, pay homage to the sport that I grew up playing for 8 years. So, but I do that because, as you're saying, how do we make that resonate with that younger audience? And it's the swag, right? It's the swag that's so important. And I have to share this again. I shared it as a post that I was watching something from Will I Am, and he said, culture is more powerful than marketing.
Really?
Culture is more powerful than marketing. Woo!
Now, what does he mean by that? Because I'm trying to grasp that concept. Culture is more powerful than marketing. Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, because I am stripping it out of the concept of what he was saying in terms of the future and the generation and the way the innovation is happening. So when he's looking at in terms of fashion and trend, that what I've been doing, and it for me, it was like, yes, that's what is happening, because I got the Ready Set Real Estate snapbacks, I got the tees, I got the jerseys. It's a culture of what we do as a people that is more powerful than someone having to pay the marketing. And I say this all the time: we're rocking name brands that are not giving us sponsorships for.
You bring up a good topic, and I think that ultimately, here's what happens. We create the culture, and it's pure, and it's beautiful, and it's wonderful, and it's magical, right? And then someone comes along and says, that's not being monetized. We need to monetize that. We need to get ahead of that, because that message is empowering segments and groups of people that may not be in our best interest. So therefore, this is the reason why things like the hip hop and the rap culture we've taken a message of the youth, and even their pain and struggle, and extrapolated that, and then monetized it and made it into something that we can now package and market and so on and so forth, and brand and ship. And we're not creating authenticity anymore. So right. I totally understand what you're saying. But the nature of the beast is who's got the biggest dollars.
Pretty much. And I think that's one of those beasts that we continue to find tools to be able to, I'm not going to say combat, but to be strategic about. And I'm all about strategy. And that's what the art of negotiation is about strategy. What we're doing today is strategy, leveraging social media, right? And I have a very specific reason and purpose in what I'm doing with the show. And it's because it's getting a message. So I get to leverage a platform, a show, to feature people having these conversations where they're feeling very vulnerable with filling out a loan application, talking about our finances, talking about our credit. And I like to say that now I get to bring real estate to the breakfast, lunch, and dinner table. I'll be at this platform, because you catch it on a replay, you catch it on your phone, you catch it on your smart TV. So wherever you are, we can now center a conversation with this platform, and we're giving now the language, terms, and concepts, as you're talking about, when we're saying, how do we package it to be able to translate this to a younger audience, so it resonates with them. So I appreciate you thinking that by the time we get to 18, yes, it's a little later at that point, because there's a lot of what I call in part 1 of the book, brain implants that have already happened.
Absolutely.
So,
which is a nice way of saying you're already programmed.
I wanted you to share a little bit more about you're using your brother, and you've mentioned this, that you've handed him the book, just given him some feedback, and you personally have read, I believe, part 1 and 2 of Real Estate 100, both the teen home buying experience. She's got the books. Exactly. Get your copy. But you've taken some of the information in. Would you just kind of share with the audience a little bit about the first part 1, what you gathered from it, and then going on to part 2?
Well, part 1 I read in about 2015. So I would definitely have to go back to my notes regarding that one. I think
and I believe you read it as getting ready for the show, because you had me on your show talking about it. So
yes, absolutely.
Part 1, I'll just recap for you. So part 1 was about the basics, and I think you've recently jumped into part 2. So let's go from part 2. Part 2 has been a recent release, and I know you said, "Woo, these numbers."
Yes. One of the main things that really caught my eye was the parts about saving and preparing for real estate. So some of the things that I noticed is that there were certain things like you needed to actually consider when you're actually buying real estate, other than, my credit score, my income. I can just go ahead and pay the mortgage this amount each month, and that's all I have to consider. You have taxes you have to consider, and property insurance, And one of the things that I found really interesting is the vacancy rate. Now, this is really for those who are looking to invest, though. So if you're looking to invest, you actually have to consider vacancy rate, how long your property will be vacant and how long will you be able to pay the mortgage in the event of a vacancy, or in the event that your tenant that starts to back out of their agreement, or starts to what's the word I'm looking for? They start to, I say this word every day and I don't even know why I can't remember it. But anyway, so ultimately other things like water, gas, electricity, default. Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. Lawn care. And I'm like, oh my God, like, can you really afford real estate if you make less than 70,000 as a single person? That then became my question, because it really did not sound like, from all of the numbers, and I'm looking at the real estate market in Chicago. So in Chicago, now you did have a show where you talked about NACA, which I really love, and I'm going to dive into that more too as well, as soon as I kind of get there.
And for the audience, for those, she's referring to the NACA program. I did a show with a guest that came on, and she talked about locking in a mortgage interest rate of 1.25, and that include a rehab loan, which that's pretty awesome to have.
And what was her? Did she reveal her credit score?
I think she believes she had challenges, because that's part of the program. You have to get yourself to a credit worthy. Because they want to make sure that their borrowers, and that's how their program and their nonprofit organization continues to work, is because their default rate is so low, because they put you through a program to make sure you are mortgage ready and able to sustain that. So I'm glad you're pointing out to people.
The main thing that I gathered from that is discipline, because I actually went through the NACA program, or started. And what they told me is I had, like, in 2015, I had 2 times where I was late on a credit card. And they told me that I had to wait an entire year before I could actually begin the program again. So they weren't going to they're going to re-look at my payment history. They don't look at your credit score. They look at your payment history for over a year. How consistent are you in making those payments? Because that shows that you are someone who is stable. So the first aspect of that process is really making sure that your income is stable, making sure that you're budgeting properly, making sure that you're not spending money on going to the club and popping bottles, as Jay-Z said in his song, the story of OJ. You know, what's more important than popping bottles at the club? Credit. And I thought that, wow, that's revolutionary for him to say that.
Well, see, you went there now. So let's touch on the fact that real estate has come into the hip hop industry, into the music industry. Is it? Yes. Are we good? Do you want to?
So, I mean, honestly, like Kendrick Lamar said, he said in one of his songs, now he's doing cartwheels in his estate. And he compared that to a time where he was pretty much eating ramen noodles out of the pack. So
talk about discipline.
Exactly. So ultimately, even with him, the comparison of having real estate as some sort of almost, I want to say luxury, or not even just a luxury. It's almost a status symbol. It speaks to where you have gravitated from, because a lot of these musicians have come from places where they were never owners in their neighborhood. They did not see their family own much real estate. They maybe had that one auntie who had a house in a good neighborhood across the town. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. Okay. And they never seen that for themselves. This was never a part of their reality. Now, ultimately, the whole rapping and basketball thing kind of almost teaches our children that you have to be in this status or you have to be a celebrity in order to ascertain these things. But I think that what we're doing with this particular movement and movements like mine that is being formulated is we're letting children know in this urban sector that you can be a regular person and actually obtain these things. You just need strategy. You just need knowledge. You just need the attention span and the discipline to do it.
Right. Well said. Well said. And that takes me into the next segue as we're talking about the transformation to empowerment. And I think it's so important to have the financial aspect when we're talking about a holistic approach to someone's well-being. Would you expand on that? Because you and I, we build offline, and this is what's nice about the show. People can kind of delve into our thoughts as creators and innovators and people that are really passionate about community and people. So let's talk about the importance and the significance of the approach of like what you're offering right now. She is offering a free 5-week course for, is it the chakra alignment? Is it
so it is alignment, and I'll explain a little bit more about that. So the first aspect of it is a paradigm shift. So we kind of have to shift our mindset in the way that we see things. So ultimately, this is taking action. When you grab this book, Real Estate 100, you are prepared to take action. And you want to know what strategies you need to take action. I'm the one that does the pre-action, pre-gaming, meaning that I'm the one that works with the individual to help them to remove the self-doubt that keeps them from believing that they are capable of doing these things, you see? And so the way that the paradigm shift works is we're shifting the thought process from thinking of money as just a tangible thing, because I mean, I'm not going to go there, but we all know what money and currency is really about. That being said, we can take a step back and look at it as energy. Okay, so everything is energy. If you embody that philosophy, then you understand that money is also energy too. And if you are unable and incapable of creating that type of abundance for yourself, there's some energy blockages there. And that is what we work with. We work with you on removing the energy blockages, mind, body, spirit, soul connection. We talked about today is about unity, but let's not just look at unity from a communal standpoint. Look at unity of the mind, body, and the spirit. Those things are your trinity. And when you are in alignment with that, then you're in the receptive mode and things flow to you. It's not a push. It's not a pull. I know so many people who are going through these credit and financial credit repair companies and things like that. And it just feels like a strain because energetically it is a strain for them. So what I work with people on is removing that strain, removing these limiting belief systems and these poor thoughts and these poor mind implants, brain implants that have stuck with them forever. And in doing that, that energy is able to flow much more with ease. When you're able to flow the energy, you have a sense of clarity. When you have a sense of clarity, now strategy is something that you can apply without fail. So I'm offering a 5-week everyday alignment course where you can actually, maybe if Lisa's able to share the link in the comments.
Got you.
Yep. It starts tomorrow. It will be a virtual course that's sent to you. It's free. So you get an opportunity to see if Coach Twilight's coaching style is for you, if my message is for you, if it resonates with you, if it's something that really works for you. You click on the link, you sign up, I send you the virtual course, boom, bam, boom, you're done. And all you got to do is watch it.
There it is. I love it. Yeah, it's up on the screen, you guys. You do have an option to get that. I think now is a good time to do it. It's so funny. I don't know if you follow that. I do another show called the Shift Your Thinking Tuesday show. And I think you and I had talked about that. I said the reason I do that, the Shift Your Thinking, is because regardless of what I tell you about real estate, the credit, the lender, the saving, the bank account, if your mind is not in a position to receive it, because we're not talking about buying shoes and clothes and these small tangibles. Real estate is a mindset, just like you said, oh, after I start considering the vacancy factor, the lawn care, the property insurance, the property taxes, am I someone that is really capable and equipped for the management of my estate?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm very intentional. I'm very intentional. And that's the reason I do it, because not only am I doing the application of my life, which is why I felt like bringing you on today's show. And I think it's so perfect. And I love the way you tied in the principle of unity in terms of the mind, body, spirit of it with what you're doing, especially because everyone starts getting to this goal setting of 2018, right?
Oh my God. New year, new me. New year,
right.
New me.
Right.
My thing is new year, new energy. New year, new frequency. That's
Love
what
it.
has to happen.
Right. That's so perfect. I love that. What'd you say? Say that again.
New year, new energy. New year, new frequency.
There it is. Oh my gosh, that's even better. So, as we're talking about, as we're talking about unity, as we're talking about new me, new energy, and shifting internally, transformation to empowerment. And I love that, transformation to empowerment. Would you drop the website? Would you say it? I know I mentioned it, but you are at
sure. So it's transformation, the number 2, empowerment.org.
Perfect.
Not com.org.
Exactly. And what's happening is you're going to see this says here, evolve our organization, because it's much needed. And we invite you to support, because you are a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. So it is through monetary support that we can continue to expand movements like hers, to do the work that people like her, myself, are passionate about, to reaching the younger audience and to give them the schools. Because here's one thing that I've noticed, and I don't know, sis, if you've come across this study, but they had done this study and this research of how they were introducing meditation into the younger students, and their scores and their performance had increased, and their behaviors in terms of aggression had reduced. And to take something like what you're doing and implementing it, giving them the skills, and then tying it along with why is credit important, right? Why is financial literacy important? Why is real estate literacy important? Because we're talking about the well-being of the individual, and that includes the shelter, not just of my vessel, but everything around me. I'm so passionate about what you're doing. I'm so excited that there's someone doing it.
How you're so in alignment with those principles yourself. So, even our conversations offline have reflected that. So when I see you, when we talk, you utilize 2 faculties, well, 3 actually. I see you utilizing your third eye a lot with the clarity, and your heart chakra a lot with the balance, and then your sacral chakra a lot with the creativity. And so I see those faculties being used, but when it comes to your real estate and stuff like that, you're totally solar plexus, self-empowerment, inner sun, moving with intention, really a lot of confidence coming from you. And you can see that your light is bright, And so I noticed that you balance those principles, because a lot of people would think, oh, she's just so powerful, but she is a real person. She is a real person, and you can feel that heart frequency energy. And I think that her and I embody similar things. People see that inner sun in me too as well, but that real genuine person feel, you get an opportunity to feel that too as well when you are connecting with me. And I think that's what my clients come to like. Even though there are healthy boundaries, they still feel like they're talking to a real person. But even the knowledge and the insight still comes from a very a higher source, a higher place.
Right, right. Well said. Well said. And I receive all that. It just makes me I feel all warm right now.
Virtual hug.
Virtual hug. I feel all warm right now. Especially when we're having that moment. I just did a show and I was talking about the gateway to God. And this is what you're talking about right now, is when we're talking about being in an alignment and balance, especially being in an industry as the one I'm in, it is a high stress. And so you have to be, I don't like to say you have to be, because you don't have to do anything, but you should be in practice of that alignment. So yes, I find my joyous place. And right now I feel I'm like high energy. I'm feeling like a real kid right now because my sis is on. We're having a good time. We get to share what we do with other people. And again, it's one of those things. But then when I wear, like you said, when I get into that different hat in a different arena, I'm in my sacral, right? And the color, I don't know if you can see the color. I got a mani-pedi. I got that little orange.
Gosh, you love orange. Oh my God.
I don't know where it came from. So how do people connect with Tug Initiative, learn more and support what you're doing? We're going to get ready to sign off, wrap it up. And if anything that we've missed that we should connect, I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to share that with the audience. And again, we did this as a Kwanzaa special for today. The show is normally scheduled Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So you will actually see the replay of today's show tomorrow. And, just take notes and just stay connected and share and invite somebody to learn and support what we are both doing. So sis, how do they connect with Tug Initiative and learn more and support what you're doing?
Absolutely. So if you want to connect with Tug Initiative, step one, you can go to the website, transformation, 2, empowerment.org. In addition to that, you can, and I totally forgot to mention that this started with a group called the Underbelly Group. Okay. And if anyone knows what the underbelly is, it's the part of the stomach of an animal that most people throw away. So the significance of that is taking individuals who are generally deemed the underbellies of society and redefining that, because none of that was ever true. We have these standards that we believe make people whole, but we are seeing amazing people come from amazing backgrounds, colors, creeds, disabilities, so on and so forth, who are doing amazing things. And when we remove the shame away from that, we see people coming out and being their most magnificent self. So the Underbelly Group is actually what TUG stands for. So TUG Initiative is saying, now, from the Underbelly Group, which inspired you, we're moving to take action. So you can catch us on Transformation, Inner Transformation. That's what we're all about. Transformation to empowerment.org. You can visit Facebook.com/Tug Initiative. You can donate on the webpage as well as on the Facebook page. There's various different links to a GoFundMe that we have available. Also, you can donate from the website by clicking on About Us. So that's some ways. In addition to that, you could go ahead and check out the Everyday free alignment course. It's 5 weeks. You get videos, you get coursework, and you get a meditation per week. So ultimately, you'll get an opportunity to see how my coaching program is designed, to see if it's right for you. So we're all about unifying the mind, body, and spirit. And in doing so, we become more effective so that we can unify with our community.
Oh, I love you. I love you too.
I do. You inspire me, definitely.
Oh, I love you. I love you because you definitely have taken, especially because I've worked with you. I've seen how you do. You do great with logistics and details. So what she has poured into when you're talking about design a program, and I appreciate that she's sending that invitation to see if it's the right fit, because when you're talking about working with an individual, This is what I do with a consultation. It's first to see if we fit, because I don't take anyone and everyone in as a client. I'm thankful and blessed that I'm at a place where I don't take everyone on, because not everyone is going to resonate with me, and it's fine. You have to know that about yourself. So what she's put into in terms of designing her program and what she's made available for your transformation, check it out and learn more. And again, trust me, she is not going to take offense if you say this is not for me.
Not at all.
This one, trust me, she
not at all.
So that will conclude today's show. Remember, today's platform was about bringing our Kwanzaa Day, our principle unity. It was a special. I just wanted to bring on, especially when we're talking about holidays, we're talking about what we've seen in the last year is just amazing among people that have been coming out of our communities, doing amazing and great things. And this show, Ready, Set, Real Estate, is a spotlight, everything real estate, all aspects of the industry, all individuals of this industry. It is a $1 trillion industry annually, and it impacts everybody's lives. And this is what this movement is about, is to grow and support one another. And it's great to do it under this principle for today. So yeah, I shaded that. Learn more about what we do at Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation. Again, the show is to support our nonprofit, and thereby we can do collaborative efforts with organizations like Transformation to Empowerment, Tug Initiative, because it is with the goal of planting those seeds with the next generation. Absolutely. They are the future. It is today. One of our taglines at Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation is teach the next to fix the now. So, yes. With that, we say we love you. Have a powerful, productive week. We will catch you next week. We've got a great show lined up for 2018. Great guests. And we're just going to have so much fun. We're going to bring Sis back on the show anyway, because she's always doing great things, and I think she's a great spirit to have. So with that, I say ashe, 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 and have a fantastic one, you guys.
Peace.